Thanks for joining us today. Well, you've seen his infomercials everywhere. He's also an author. He is a certified nutritionalist and a people's fat loss coach, Robert Ferguson. Welcome back, Robert.
Well, it's always good to be here.
Yeah.
We're really excited about being here.
We love you because you're the only one that says chocolate and wine are part of it.
So great. And to top it off, he's brought a friend with him, and this is Asma Ishaq, and she is a skincare specialist and the president of Jusuru International. I got it right. Welcome. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys.
Well, no, thank you.
So I understand we are talking about the natural approach in the Fountain of Youth. Okay, so what are some of the things that we can do between your nutrition aspect and your skincare aspect that can keep us young and youthful and in shape?
Well, if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of start it off and then introduce you to what I believe is a gem.
Got it.
Jack LaLanne, the father of fitness and nutrition, once told me, he said, Robert, if you're excited about something, don't keep it a secret. And I said, you know what? That is so true. So many people, you learn about something that's really cool, innovative, revolutionary, and you kind of make it work for yourself, but you don't share it with others. Well, this is where this lady comes in, and their whole science of this thing called BioCell Collagen 2, which she'll explain. And our connection really is with food, because like with most things, you bake bread all the time. And I help people reduce their waistline. And one of my clients, for instance, loses 220 pounds. You get saggy skin. You don't look as fit, even though you're healthier on the inside.
It's true. You really are what you eat, but I never think of it in terms of your skin as well. I think of it your waistline, but not necessarily your skin.
And so many people are concerned with that. And then you have the people who used to be active, like you guys are very active. Imagine if you can't move as much because of joint discomfort. Well, what if you could? So you could look better, have better joint mobility, and learn how to eat the foods you love. Then we come together very well. And so as I'm helping people boost their metabolism through the consumption of food and resistance training, etc., she has a product that is so revolutionary, it's so hot in Hollywood, and I know it's hot here, but I'm talking about real hot.
Well, you know what? We do. We look to the stars. They seem to get everything first. So we want to know what's going on in Hollywood. Tell us about your product.
I'm like waiting with bated breath.
Thanks. Thanks for having us here. That's exactly why Robert and I sort of get along so well. There's a lot of synergy here between the connection between diet and what you eat and what you look like. And that's the age-old question, and that sometimes we associate certain ethnic groups. You see certain groups that have smooth skin and they're very mobile, and you say, well, that must be genetics.
All genetics.
Yes, but actually, in fact, it's not genetics. It's diet that's been reinforced over generations. There's an interesting, I'll tell you the name of the product and what we've kind of developed as, with our background being in product development and dietary supplement formulations, that there's interesting communities all over the world that are perfect examples of this. One is a small village in Japan called Yuzurihara. I've had the privilege of going there now a couple of times to actually see this in action. But there are communities of people who live into their 80s and 90s with perfectly smooth skin. They walk 2 miles a day up the hill. I walked up the hill with a 96-year-old woman. She got there faster than I did.
She was waiting on her.
Yes. And this is why the omega-3s are eating a lot of fish. I think Japan, they're eating a lot of fish.
And interestingly, it's this village of the residents actually had a diet that was rich in a starchy root that actually grew only in that region, and it inhibited hyaluronidase, which is the enzyme that's constantly breaking down hyaluronic acid in our body. So I'll explain the connection between youthfulness, skin, joints, all of that, and what HA is. So this village became sort of this forefront of the medical community studying anti-aging. When we're born with an abundance of a component in our body that's naturally existing called hyaluronic acid. And over time, since birth, it starts to decline. So the more it declines, the more we look sort of shriveled up and dehydrate over time. So it's like going from a plum to a prune over one's course of life. And what happens over the course of one's life is that you're constantly generating collagen cells. You're generating new collagen cells until the midpoint in your life, which is typically around our 30s when we start to see the first signs of aging. Some of us earlier, some of us a little bit later if we're fortunate. But what happens is that we're not generating collagen cells anymore.
This is why we see the creams out there.
Yeah.
Everything's about collagen.
Yes.
But do the topical creams really work, in your opinion?
Yeah, actually, it's very difficult, unless it's sort of a prescription type of a topical agent, that it actually works to penetrate the deeper layers of skin. Collagen and HA, which is short for hyaluronic acid, have been used by the medical community for decades now. They inject HA into wrinkles to sort of uplift the creased area or folds in skin. And also collagen, as you know, has been injected into lips and wrinkles as well. There's also HA injections that go in between joints where lubrication is no longer. And it serves as almost an artificial cartilage, because that's what's happening to our bodies over time.
Okay, so tell us about this product.
So
You are ready, aren't you? It's time to get the party started.
This has been launched since, beginning of this year is really when we started aggressively approaching sales. We've earned a lot of recognition. We actually discovered a ingredient called BioCell Collagen 2. I kind of brought this book along just to show you the enormous amount of clinical research behind this. BioCell Collagen 2, which is a naturally occurring matrix, it's an ingredient that has collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate, which are essential building blocks of our skin, our joints, our eyes, anywhere that there's moisture in our body. And so where we had really become very interesting is that we were able to take what was typically injected and make it so that if you ingested this, it would reach your bloodstream and therefore the tissues. So
tell us what is in this.
Okay, great. It's BioCell Collagen 2, exclusively available in Jusuru Life Blend in a liquid form.
Okay.
Combined with, so what that will do is it's been proven to elevate the levels of HA. It actually inhibits hyaluronidase, which is the enzyme that's constantly breaking it down. The same mechanism of action of that village in Japan that had the anti-aging effects.
If you notice, I look much younger.
You keep getting younger, Robert. But you package it like it looks like a bottle of wine.
It looks like,
So, and you hear Dr. Oz all the time say antioxidants, red wine, resveratrol.
Yes.
Does this have resveratrol in it?
It does. It has resveratrol in it. It also has antioxidants from several different fruits. And yes, go ahead.
No, but also, so would if I was going to incorporate this into my daily regime, would you say like an ounce or two a day?
Yes, absolutely.
And then incorporate that with what you practice, what you preach with the nutrition and just, overall wellness.
Good health, yes,
and
exactly.
joints, so it improves everything.
Everything.
I mean, I'm seeing...
It should be a staple in everyone's home.
I'm seeing pictures in this brochure, and I know it might be tough,
before
but
and
I mean,
after.
where you have crow's feet, and then after a couple of weeks, it's like non-existent.
Yeah.
Anything
Because it's
that we can
actually
do
pumping out the skin
naturally, that we don't have to inject, I'm thrilled.
Right.
Yeah.
And where can people get this?
You can get this at jusuru.com, and you can get it through independent distributors all over the nation. We're here in Arizona, and really starting up. Yes, exactly. And when we were talking about red wine, it's interesting that just 1 to 2 ounces of this would have equivalent of 2 full bottles of red wines worth of resveratrol.
But I'd rather drink the 2 bottles. I mix this in my wine. I actually mix this in my wine.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I wish we could talk more about this, because we're always looking to see how we can make ourselves be and feel better. So thank you. We'll be right back after this.